All right, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1993 Nissan Skyline GTS-T. Up front is a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 6 and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here Nissan Skyline because I've driven Skylines before, but I've never filmed an R33. This is an R33 chassis Nissan Skyline. And this is the sedan, which is not the typical version that everyone's used to seeing. The Skyline GTR, which is like the world famous, that's the GTR, was actually a coupe. It was all-wheel drive, it had a different engine. And so this is a more regular look at the Skyline, and I'm excited to bring that to you guys. It's something different than the famed Godzilla. But before we get on with the rest of the video, if you are looking to help out the channel, there are a couple links in the description below from our awesome sponsors. One of which is Cash for Cars if you're looking to sell your used car. One is from Fixed, a Bluetooth OBD2 sensor to help diagnose your vehicle, and another from Conplates. Conplates is a suction cup license plate mount for your vehicle in case you don't want to drill into your front bumper. Each purchase or quote goes towards helping the channel, and it's greatly appreciated, so let's get on with the video. So let's get back to that RB25 DET under the hood. Well, it makes about 250 horsepower from the factory, and this one has the boost turned up a little bit. I can't give exact numbers, but I would imagine 260 something. Again, nothing too crazy. Now, there are a couple of engines offered in the R33 Skyline. The RB25 is here in the GTS-T. There's also the E that came with an RB20 non-turbo, and of course the GTR had the RB26. But inline 6 means it has power down low, and the turbo means it has power up high, and it is an amazing driving experience. Like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, this car was actually manual swapped. It didn't originally come as a manual from the factory. However, you could get these as manuals from the factory. It's just this particular one was automatic. Last but not least, the GTS-T is rear-wheel drive. It is not the all-wheel drive that the GTR got. And you might think, oh, I'd rather have the all-wheel drive. However, for drifting or spirited driving, let's say, rear-wheel drive is 100% the way to go. I prefer rear-wheel drive when I'm driving sporty cars. I just enjoy the feeling of it. I know how to control it. I've grown up driving rear-wheel drive cars, and so it just makes the most sense to me. And so I prefer the rear-wheel drive setup. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a bunch of very plain gauges. On the left is my coolant temperature. Then I have my fuel, speedometer on the left, tachometer with boost pressure on the right, and my oil pressure as well. Nissan has always done very, very plain gauges in cars like this. There's no pizzazz, there's no fanfare, but they're easy to read and I can appreciate that. On the steering wheel, I just have the Skyline badge. I like the look and feel of the steering wheel. There's no buttons on the steering wheel. It's very driver-oriented. I'm not worried about cruise control. I'm not worried about radio volume or skipping my track. I'm just worried about steering the car, and I love that. To the right of me, I do have my power mirror switches, as well as my power windows and child locks and things like that on the door. Moving into the center, I have 2 climate control vents. Of course, the owner, Bronson, has put an AC vent cup holder because it's a Japanese car and you gotta do that. Then I have my hazard switch. I have a quartz clock, which is a very 80s, 90s thing to have. And then I have my air conditioning controls. It feels lovely in here. The air conditioning is awesome. It still works, and it's on an R12 system because Japan actually adapted R134 way later. So it blows nice and cold, and it's a dry cold as opposed to like a humid cold of more modern cars. Then, of course, I have an aftermarket radio because every radio from the 90s was pretty garbage, even the one found in the Skyline. And below that, I get a little cubby, ashtray, and cigarette lighter. Now, for the shifter, this, of course, is not the factory shift knob. It's a D&D shift knob. I've dealt with a bunch of their products before, and I actually really like them. I think that they're decent quality. And so far, shifting it has been nice, easy, and fun. Down at the very bottom, I do have the shift pattern, which is kind of helpful, A, driving right-hand drive, and B, with an aftermarket shift knob, it just makes life easier remembering where reverse is. And then I do have the power and snow modes for the automatic transmission, which of course has since been removed, so those aren't really super useful buttons anymore, but hey, it's cool to see them there. Then I do have a little cubby and a center armrest. I do not get any cup holders in the R33, so it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Now we gotta talk about the seats. The seats are very plush and comfortable. Japan at the time was using very comfortable materials. And as we'll talk about with the back seats, they're phenomenal. They're very comfortable and they're nice and warm, which even on a hot day today, with the AC going, it's nice to have nice, cozy seats. I'm really enjoying myself and I'm not beating myself up. They're not the sportiest seats in the world, but hey, that's okay. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the R33 Skyline sedan, and this is one of my favorite parts of the car. These seats are so comfortable, not only in the material that they're made out of, but the cushion of them, just everything about them, super, super comfortable. Nissan knows how to do back seats, at least they did in the 90s, and this is no exception. I do have a center console, no cup holders there, and it does say Skyline Nissan Genuine Parts down below on the floor, but that's it. Let's take a quick look at the trunk, then we got to get back to driving this thing. So, trunk of a Nissan Skyline. That's it. It's actually not as deep as I thought it would be. However, that's okay. It is a full-size sedan. Looks great. It's enough for anyone else. All right, let's get back to driving this thing. Now we got to talk about the looks, and I love the look of the R33, especially the sedan. The sedan gets a slightly different rear end than the coupe, and I don't know, I think it's like just the fact that I don't see them that much, I really enjoy looking at sedans. I think sedans look more proper. I think they look more proportional. And I think overall, just for me personally, the sedan is the way to go. And so, let's get to my final thoughts here on the R33. Well, in order to fully express my final thoughts, I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, and I figured what better way than to take it on the Blue Ridge Parkway. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh God, yes. The blow-off noise is perfect. The car handles perfect, drives perfect. This is what it was built to do. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God! It's not blowing me away. It's not the fastest thing I've ever driven, but it might be one of the most fun. This car is just set up so well. It's honest about what it is. It's not trying to overreach. It's not trying to overboost. It's not trying to kill me. It's just a runner. It just wants to go. And boy, if you let it go. Oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about. I feel like I've waited my entire life to drive something this good. Oh, and I look out over the Blue Ridge Mountains. Oh, I might not be above the clouds, but I am in the clouds, baby. The torque is fun down low. The turbo is fun up high. It does die off before the red line. It caps itself, but I'm not worried about that right now. Oh, God. This might be my new favorite car that I've reviewed. I drive a lot of cool stuff. I'm very thankful that this is my job. But man, Nissan got this one right. They got it real right. And so I'm sorry. Oh God. I was about to end the video. There's a tunnel. There's a tunnel. We have to do it. There are tears welling in my eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it.